Mikey, heading into San Jose match, the third and final California rival, being from California. What can you expect out of this matchup? Kind of excitement of playing the other two California LA teams, but San Jose brings in another mix. Doesn't feel like LA, but still within California. How does that? Maybe like a rivalry that's, although we haven't faced them yet, but there's just a rivalry from being within the state.
Yeah, I think regional factors always take account of something, but at the end of the day, every game we want to win. We want to beat everybody we face. It's a quite mature team with a legend for a coach who's got them moving in a good direction, and got a front 3-4 who are quite dangerous in transition. So we'll be ready for a really tough match over there.
Is that a team you followed at all growing up?
I did, yeah. I mean, when the league started, of course, you're a Bay Area kid. You're gonna always, and you love football. You're always gonna follow it. I wouldn't say that it was my team, but it was something I followed.
Sure. Did you ever go to games?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went to games.
Oh, that's cool.
Of course.
Mikey, San Jose, very different team, right? Very strong attacking with a lot of goals, but also defensively very weak. How do you prepare against a matchup like that?
Yeah, I think it's the team that spends the most time in transitions in the league on both sides, so that probably takes into account why they create so much danger, and also sometimes they concede. So it's one of those opponents that anything could happen. It's going to be really important that we are able to find a way to break their kind of like man marking and find the right moments to get in behind them, take our chances well, but also be able to defend in those transition moments with the front three that's really talented. And at the end of the day, making sure that we don't get into a chaotic, completely open game, but that we find moments to control the game and slow it down.
And regarding the goalkeeper positioning status of everyone, Pablo Cisniega, is he match fit for this one? And how important is it to have Duran Ferry back, first signing ever for the club? Now he's back, available as well. And then CJ also with an amazing performance last week.
Yeah, Pablo's not ready yet, but he's making good progress. And then, yeah, it's great having Duran, local kid, another local, I guess you could say our first actual like homegrown, because he's a teenager from the area. And he's showing more and more in every single training session. He's been told and he knows that, listen, age is not a factor. It's all about performance here. So he's trying to work his way into the competition as well. And
how's the status for Imbartzen and Kumado, which we haven't seen in a while?
Yeah, Willie's still a little bit away. He's making progress, but not quite there. And then Marcus should be available from the bench.
How long did it take you to figure out that you had something special with CJ?
I think we signed him for a reason, right? He didn't have a lot of playing time, so we believed in his potential more than anything. And then, of course, from a human perspective, he's a great human being. I could see that right off the bat. And then I think he had some really good performances early on, so you start to get the feeling like he can really make progress. He also had a bit of dip in form, and that's important to note because that's a normal part of the process. And now he's getting this kind of second run after being out of the lineup for a while. So these are really important moments for him to show now over the course of 25, 30, 40, 60, 70 games that he can keep getting better, because that's the potential we want to see realized.
Mike, I wanted to ask about Milan Iloski. Was there any surprise in him signing with the Union, since he also scored his first goal for the club in the Open Cup this week? Just your reaction when you found out that he went to the Union.
Yeah, I want the best for him, but the most important thing right now is the guys that we have finishing this season strong. I think we have a lineup and a roster who has really made the city proud. And right now, the only thing we're focusing on, like I just said, was the 3 points that are in front of us, and having a great training session tomorrow and making sure that we're ready to go for this game in San Jose.
Any more questions? Thanks, Mikey.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It's not bad luck, is it?
We're joined by goalkeeper CJ Dos Santos. CJ, just talking on the match a little bit, coming off a big road win in Kansas, now heading into the San Jose match, the third and final California rival for San Diego. What kind of intensity do you expect coming out of this match, especially because of the although you haven't faced them, but just the inherent rivalry just from being within the same state?
Yeah, I mean, everybody's kind of looking out for one another in the league, especially when you're like regional rivals, state rivals. So I've said this before and I'll say it again. We want to be the best team in MLS, and in order to be the best team in MLS, we have to be the best team in California. So we're going to do our absolute best to get the 3 points on the road here.
So,
TJ, how comfortable are you feeling coming back from that injury? Obviously, you had a clean sheet last week, so how are you feeling right now?
No, I feel really, really confident, really motivated to keep going after it each and every week. That time really allowed me to take a step back and to work on everything I needed to work on, little details wise, and it happened for a reason, and I feel a lot better coming after it.
Walk us through that difference, right? With playing with no mask and then playing with the mask. Like, what is that like?
Honestly, like I didn't even notice it after the first day. You kind of just get accustomed to it. It actually makes me feel a little bit more brave, fondly enough, because I feel like I can just dive and put my body on the line even more so than before. But like I said, it really didn't make any much difference.
Yeah, what's it like been connecting with Duran, coming back from loan with SC Northland? I mean, first signing for San Diego FC. What's it like been connecting with him?
No, it's great to have him with the GK Union, especially with the team as well, getting him integrated each and every day, getting to learn from him and learning from me. Hopefully he's learning a thing or two from me. And it's just another added piece to build in for the competition within the GK Union.
What was the surgery that you had there? What did they do?
So I deviated septum,
Okay.
and it was pushed to the side and inside.
okay.
So, and apparently I heal very, very quickly.
Okay.
So they had to kind of break it and then put it back into place.
Oh,
Yeah.
Jesus. Did it hurt? It's a terrible question, but did it hurt?
Nah,
No?
not one bit.
Really?
No. Funny enough, it didn't hurt at all. I was just more worried about the blood coming out.
Okay.
But afterwards, the physios here took really good care of me. The surgeon that I worked with took really, really good care of me. And honestly, I'm breathing better than before, so nothing but positive.
Did you have a deviated septum before?
Apparently, it's slightly deviated.
Okay.
But I didn't really notice.
How do you prepare against a team that, like San Jose, very high scoring, strong attacking, but on the defensive end, they're not the strongest?
It's pretty much the same preparation that we do each and every week. We do within ourselves here, week in, week out, competing amongst ourselves first and foremost, and then just looking at their strengths, looking at their weaknesses, and trying to exploit as much as we can. Like I said, the individual and the collective preparation is pretty much the same. A lot focusing on ourselves so we can put ourselves in the best situation possible to come out on top with the 3 points.
Yeah, and obviously we asked Mikey, right? But the thought process is focusing on the next 3 points available. But is there any thought on the back of your head that there's 8 games left in the season, you're top of the West, you're 2 points behind the Union for the Supporter Shield? Is there any thought that goes with that towards the end of the season?
I mean, it's just added motivation in and of itself, Going in, this is a very, very important time of year. We've accumulated a lot of points, but this is, make or break for a lot of teams across the league. And like I said, the preparation is not very much different from how we've been going about it. We like to break things down week by week just so we don't get too ahead of ourselves. If you look too far into the future, you start skipping some detail, you start skipping some steps, but our main focus is just focusing on the here and now.
How much self-evaluation was there for you during those, 6 weeks or so when you weren't playing? What did you do to sort of think about your own performance and what you could improve on?
It was a little while where I could, take a step back and reanalyze anything that I could have done better. It helps when you get to go back the following week and kind of have a clean slate right away. But I feel like this was a really good opportunity for me to grow as a person and grow as a player as well, especially through that bit of adversity because, like I said, you want to go right back into it.
Right.
And just, I did my absolute best to stay positive within myself, positive affirmations, trying to keep as much confidence within myself and self-belief as possible. Because I've said this in the past that inner belief is what really helps the individuals and what really helps me personally, and just think positive. And it actually helped me reset and really started to polish up the little details that I've been lacking these last several matches.
What was the biggest thing you learned about yourself as a person and about yourself as a player during that time?
That's a really good question. I'd say the thing that I learned about myself would be that it's okay to take 1 or 2 steps back, to take 3 or 4 steps forward. You know, being positive as much as possible, and kind of just getting that reset was probably what I learned in that time. And it's okay to have a reset, and just to get yourself level-headed and just to get back into the right mindset. Sure.
It probably takes athletes a long time to get used to the idea of like, hey, I'm hurt, I'm going to recover and I'm going to be okay, right? To try to keep you from going back out there too early. So, I mean, is that something that's been hard to deal with in the past?
I mean, every player wants to play.
Sure.
And every player plays through whatever little knocks, bumps, bruises, for sure. And we're all strong enough mentally, and we're athletes. Like we deal with little things like that all the time. And it's kind of just, the most important thing is kind of just realizing that, you know, these setbacks and these little injuries, short-term, long-term, they're part of the process. And you can take it as a learning experience, or you can take it as a negative part of the game. And I decided to take it as a positive part of it, and I feel like that's really helped me over these last few weeks.
Did you go shopping for the mask, or did they just hand you one?
Oh, it was actually a really cool thing.
Yeah?
So like they had like a 3D like picture thing, and then I had to put my hair up, had to get the full thing.
Wow.
It's basically like molded to my face. Yeah.
Where'd you get that done?
You have to ask the physio.
But you went somewhere. It wasn't done here.
No, they sent it here.
They sent it
They
here.
sent it here through an app.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, I really had that stuff. It was pretty cool.
Wow. So it's
That's why
kinda-
it was so comfortable as well.
Wow. So it's kind of like when you do the Face ID on your phone, where you have to like turn your head. Is
Yeah,
that how you do it?
exactly that. Exactly that.
Okay.
And it's literally just molded straight to my face. I had it like custom where I had like more of the peripheral kind of cut off, so I could see like wider and like vertically and,
Yeah.
and horizontally. So it was really, really cool.
That's really cool. Awesome.
Thanks, CJ.
Thank you very much.
Thank
guys.
you. Good.
Cool. Ian, heading to this match against San Jose, although we haven't faced them yet, but can you talk about the indirect rivalry, just being from California, and then the type of intensity that you've seen against the LA teams, but now you expect from San Jose?
Yeah, we know it's going to be hard, especially going to San Jose. Everyone from California's got that grit about them. So we got to go in there with the chip on our shoulder, the humility that they're a good team, and also the humility that we can play good and we are a good team. So we got to be ready to play on the ball and also to play that dirty work game.
Can you just tell us how important the transition out of Leagues Cup, but going to Kansas City and coming out with a result, how important that was? And I mean, you've seen other road results, just how important that is to head into now a second consecutive road game.
Yeah, it was very critical. Coming back from Leagues Cup, maybe not playing exactly how we want to. We know we needed to bounce back. We did against the last game at Leagues Cup, and then coming back into the MLS where it's a different competition. You're going again for points, especially at the late end of the season. How important every point, every game is now. Every road game counts. All 3 points matter. Every point that we can get matters. So to be at our best is the most importance right now.
How do you feel your game has grown, right? From the beginning of the season, I believe your debut was against Austin on I think the club's first defeat, to now. Like, how do you feel your game has changed throughout the time?
I think it's grown a lot. I think I'm starting to adapt more to the tempo of this high intensity game. I think I'm getting a bit stronger, a little bit more brave in some actions. So that's really good. And I just a huge credit to the club and my teammates for helping me out with that.
Can you tell us a little bit about that competition on the back line, right? I mean, a lot of injuries with McNair and then McVeigh out, and you've had to start with Manu Dua, who's not really a center back. So what's that transition been like?
It's been difficult at some points, but I think we've all been so open-minded and so willing to work together and work with whatever comes our way, right? Like Manu going through a position change was not easy, but he was so willing and so open-minded that it worked out, and it's worked out really well for him. And same with me, Chris, Patty, anyone who has to play back there. We're just ready for whenever our number gets called to do whatever the club asks of us and play our way.
I know preparations usually remain the same for every club, right? But does it take anything a little bit extra against San Jose, right? They're one of the highest scoring teams in the league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we definitely have to take a note of that, and we are in our training, and we're seeing how they break and how can we prevent that even more. And every minute that we're out there is of the utmost importance to have our complete focus on it. So yeah.
Beginning of the season, did you feel like the team would be top of the West, like 8 games out before the end of the season?
At our beginning of our training sessions, I knew we had the potential, but it all mattered game by game, right? And that's what our focus has been on, and the coach has done a good job of that. You know, when we first got here, we weren't thinking about trophies. We were thinking, how can we implement our style? How can we play together? And how can we always bring a relentless fighting team spirit? And now that towards the later end of the season, seeing that it's a possibility, it's great. But we know that it's game by game and point by point right now.
Do you feel like maybe there's any added pressure or the expectations are not higher at this point in the season from the fans or anyone else in general? Beginning of the season, everyone thought, oh, if they make playoffs, that's a successful season. But now it's the expectation, Supporter Shield, MLS Cup.
I think our expectation was always high for us. You know, the culture of high quality football here is very high. So we knew that coming in that the expectations and the weight on our shoulders would be heavy. But we also knew that we had the muscle to lift it and to rise up to that occasion. So.